Hello, my name is Mike Poydence, and for this organized crime presentation, I have decided to focus on a couple groups that are located in Eastern Europe. Now, I chose these groups because recently I've been looking and studying a lot into the Eastern European culture and background, so I thought it was pretty fascinating. Now, the three main groups that I found, they consist of the Sicilian Cosa Nostra group, the Neapolitan Camorra group, and the Apollonian Sacra Corona Unita group. Now, there are others, but I decided pretty much to focus on these three. The reason I focused on these three groups in this area is also because they have become a lot more relevant within the last 10 years or so, that time frame. Now, these groups mostly have been standing out recently because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Since this pandemic, the European Union is facing their most pressing internal security challenges, and these groups are taking advantage of that. The challenges are that they are encountering a larger scale of crimes within their community and surrounding areas, which these crimes include terrorism, torture, mutation, murder, vandalism, assault, kidnapping, threats, and intimidation. Now, there are a lot more, but these are a pretty big list that I decided to look deeper into. Now, these crimes, the majority of them are happening because these groups are focusing on illegal activities, which are to gain power, profit, and mostly respect from within their communities and their peers. Now, their main source of income is coming from the cocaine trade, the cannabis trade, the use of synthetic drugs, and psychoactive substances. Now, these groups consist mostly of 3 or more members, which are making them an organized crime unit or gang, and they also contain a hierarchical structure. Now, I've conducted a little bit more research, and I did determine that only 50% of these groups are actually non-European nationalists, meaning that they are coming from other countries, and most of these countries are surrounding the European nation, which include North Africa, the Western Balkan region, and others. Now, one of the main tactics that these groups are focusing on is that of violence. This tactic is used because competing groups are fighting for territory as well. Law enforcement is taking a stand now, and economic pressure from the community is really getting the attention of those around them. The main form of economic pressure in 2020 and 2021 was the economic decline as a whole because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, these criminals would prey on normal people's fears and anxieties because there was a lack of vital goods around them and within their communities. So what these gangs or organizations would do would be to distribute food to families in the community that faced hard times, and in return, this would help them gain trust of the gangs and just everyone as a whole. Now, these gangs or organizations would also give out loans or small loans to businesses and in return collect profit on them from the interest. They would acquire bankrupt companies that faced the financial difficulties that were going on, and they would create legitimate businesses that would act as a front, which would clean their money. Now, we might ask where these members are coming from for these organized crime gangs. Well, because of the pandemic and the economic hardships that are being seen within this country, the unemployment rate has risen, and it's pushing normal citizens to become members of these organized crime organizations. To provide for their families, they must do whatever it takes. And with all that being said, these OC groups, they don't discriminate when it comes to the crimes committed or who they are targeting. This huge list consists of cybercrime, counterfeit goods, child exploitation, the use of the dark web, malware, drug production, trafficking, distribution, fraud, organized property crime, migrant smuggling, extortion, and the list goes on and on. But one of the main ones as well would be terrorism. Now, these groups, like the Sicilian Cosa Nostra, the Neapolitan Camorra, and the Apollyon Sacra Corona unit have three main goals. And these goals are, again, to gain money, power, and respect. Thank you for your time. I hope that you've gained some insight and knowledge of these organized crime groups that are happening within the Eastern European region. And have a good day. Thank you. Bye.